Enough.
Mr. Chair.
Dr. Paul Hutchison.
Mr. Chair, estimates 2013 showed a record budget of $14.1 billion into health. This is a remarkable feat, $14.1 billion following the global crisis 4 years ago. And it is extraordinarily rich to hear Mrs. King, who doubled the budget and nothing more came out after 9 long years. There was decreased productivity and there were huge waiting lists. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I remember very clearly back in 1998 when she accused Bill English of being criminal because the waiting lists were about 10,000. Well, 4 to 5 years later, they were 40 to 50,000 and she was busily culling them, 10 to 20,000 at a time. It's very rich for Mrs. King to get excited and start shroud waving the way she did just a few minutes ago. And she basically feels absolutely upset that under national government, the health targets are going so well. Because only 4 to 5 years ago, immunisation completion for 2 years old was about 67%. Now it is 93%. And the Health Select Committee heard at the end of last year from the Bay of Plenty District Health Board of a little town called Te Kaha, where they said 100% of women had their cervical screening, 100% of children aged 2 completed their immunisation, and 100% of women had their breast screening. That's a phenomenal achievement in a low socioeconomic, rural, largely Māori area of New Zealand. It's something to be celebrated. It's something to be celebrated under an incredibly progressive national government. Mr. Speaker, I also remember under Labor when Mrs. King was in power, many women being sent to Australia to have radiotherapy for cancer. The huge dislocation from their homes and from their families. Today, 100% of women have their radiotherapy within 4 weeks. That's absolutely world's best practice gold standard treatment, and it's happening under a national government. That's how well the targets are doing under this government. So that's why Mrs. King is so embarrassed by the fact that her legacy was so poor during those 9 long years. She wants to drag up all sorts of things. She goes shroud waving at the moment she possibly can. This is a huge and complex sector, and overall, under national, it has done superbly well, and one just has to look again at waiting times and accident and emergency units throughout the country. 5 years ago, about 63% got through without having to wait 6 hours. Today, it's something like 93%, and it's getting better and better as we speak. Quitting smoking, again, a huge, phenomenal success. They weren't even recording the number of people that were given advice to quit smoking in New Zealand hospitals 4 to 5 years ago. Today we're getting up to 95% are being given advice on quitting smoking in hospitals, and the target has been reset so that out in the community advice is also being given to quit smoking. Mr. Speaker, estimates 2013 under this national government recognise very much that health spending, if it went on the way it had been under Labor, it would be just utterly unsustainable. We certainly have made sure that productivity has gone up. We've certainly made sure that we've put in the mechanisms and tools to ensure that every health dollar has spent well. Mr. Speaker, I think that the record under National is like nothing we've ever seen before in the health sector, and we can be very proud of it.
Chair.
Barbara
Mr. Chair.
Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm very pleased